Are there cliques in your school?
There's a lot of them.
What kinds?
Like popular, geeky,
the jocks, and just everyone, like the radio guys, or I don't know, the math people.
The average popular group and the what some people call geeks, or the not so popular people, and just the average people.
Wrestlers, hippies, skateboarders.
The really popular people and like the people that think they're gangsters and stuff.
Cheerleaders and like the gothic people.
There's like skaters, and there's like the punks, and the football players, the wrestlers, and there's like us, the smart
kids. You know, the typical high school. It's just some of the stuff's kind of ridiculous.
Are there cliques in your school?
Not really. I go to an all-guys Catholic school, so it's just basically go there and you try to get done with, you know.
Not really. Tell the truth, no. Everyone got along. We're all good friends. Small school too, so.
There's the jocks and the preppies, and then there's the people who study a lot, and then there's me. We're just weird. So.
You know, John, I think most of us know what it's like to be left out or excluded from a group, whether it happens once in a lifetime or on a more regular basis.
The adolescent and teen years are a difficult time when all people want to fit in.
And as human beings, we all desire acceptance.
But what does it take to be part of the in-group?
And what would you have to give up or sacrifice to be part of the in-group or clique?
Is there really anything redeeming about cliques?
That is what we will be talking about today on our show, Cliques in School. Hi everyone, I'm Alicia.
And I'm John.
And this is Real Faith TV.
A clique is a modern-day group that involves insiders and outsiders.
If you're a member, most likely you will be accepted, treated with kindness, and shown support.
Members of a clique follow accepted rules for their behavior, which might include certain ways of dressing and grooming.
If you do not follow the code of behavior, so to speak, then you are punished by exclusion, the silent treatment, or worse.
At the opening of our show, you met some teens on the street, most of whom agreed that there are cliques in their school.
Our spotlight guest, Bridget, will share with us her experience with cliques.
We will also meet our studio guests, but first let's go back to the teens on the street and find out what they consider to be some of the positive and negative aspects of cliques.
Let's check it out.
Negative, that people are kind of they're not accepted by other people, and it makes them feel really bad, you know? And the good thing, I guess, you have support with other people and you feel accepted.
Well, it gives you friends and people hang out with common interests, I guess. But negative is other people often can't join the cliques and feel left out.
Well, they give people a sense of belonging, but they exclude people. They're alienating.
Some of the positive things, at least you have a group to stay with all the time.
You would do something that you really like to do if you're in skateboards and stuff. And if you were into sports, you could go hang out with people that like sports all day.
Positive is you're really close to your friends, but the negative is making fun of other people for not being in that clique.
One of the negative things is if you piss one of them off, you know, you got them all after you.
People make fun of people and not do anything that they could think of to make fun of them.
Positive, it's like if you're popular, a lot of people know you and you have a lot of friends, and if you're not, then not really people, they don't care about you, and they're just push you around.
What do you think of some of the positive and negative things about cliques?
I don't know. I've always gotten along with everyone. I don't like when people put other people down for being different.
Let's meet our guests and find out what kind of experiences they've had with cliques.
All right, with us today we have Powell, Vanessa, Ross, Catherine, Zoe, and Sarah.
What have been all of your experiences with cliques?
I'm not sure like everybody else, but I mean, I'm a part of my own little group, I guess you could say. You know, I have a certain clique of friends that I usually hang out with Friday, Saturday, you know, call up everybody, you know, see what we want to do, go play, hang out with them. And I think that's good. I think everybody kind of needs their own little group to feel, you know,
secure with.
Yeah, secure with. I mean, be connected with other people your own age, similar interests. I think that's good for people.
I know in my school there are a lot of cliques, but it's not like we exclude other people that aren't in our clique. It's just like we're friends with everybody. It's just there's certain people that we really like click with, and like you said, we hang out with them on certain days, and we hang out with the other people in our cliques. And like most people don't really put other people down that aren't like in their group, but yeah, we hang out with like people in our clique.
Yeah, my clique is like all the misfits from everybody else's clique all together. We're like really accepting of like everybody. Anybody wants to join can. We actually named our clique. It's called Fruitcake Standing in the Hallway.
But I think that like it's one thing to have like a group like Ross and they're saying, but what makes it a clique is excluding people, and that's what is wrong about it. Is because you should invite everyone.
Yeah, like I have a group of friends that I hang out with, like this big gang, and it started with just me and this other kid, and like now we have like 12 or 13 people that we like hang out with consistently. It became pretty big, and everyone that wants to come in, like we give them a shot. Like if they want to come and hang out with them, if we all like them and stuff, yeah, they can hang out with us whenever. Yeah, but if like the kid turns out to be someone that I didn't think he was, and maybe he's cruel or like he's just being mean to a lot of people, then I'm not going to call him and ask him to hang out with the group anymore, but I'm not, on the other hand, just going to completely ignore him and be mean to him and stuff. That's what he might do, that kind of stuff, but I won't do it back to him because it's just wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to be part of a clique, because you're like all best friends, and you have different similarities, and it's like just your group. But you don't want to be like a jerk about it.
But you have to leave room like to invite people in and have people come in, and not like exclude them, open it up to them, but also have like your best friends.
You can never like just look at one person and be like, well, maybe this kid's interests are different than the group's interests, so like you immediately write him off that he can never like hang out with you. Like one of our good friends that are in the group now, like he was really into computers and like school and everything, and he used to study all the time, and we were more into like sports and stuff like that. And a lot of my friends didn't want to hang out with him, but I started talking to him and I realized he was a pretty cool kid, and even though a lot of his like interests were different than ours, he had a lot of similarities with the group, and he ended up hanging out with us and became like pretty good friend with all of us. So
I think it's actually better to have more, diverse.
Diversity,
yeah, because it's more fun that way. You have people bringing different stuff to it, so you're all not doing the same blah thing every day. Everything changes and everything's like different all the time. Like whenever you get together, it's never the same.
Yeah, clique should be like a melting pot kind of thing, like kind of like America is. Like you have all sorts of different people, and it makes it like the best group that you possibly can have because you have so many different aspects and viewpoints on everything, and you all become more educated and like enlightened on different topics that you never would have thought of if you hadn't hang out with those people.
Yeah, you all support each other in your weak spots, and you use your strongness to support your friend in their weakness, and you use their weakness to support your strongness. Back and forth. Yeah.
Let's meet our spotlight guest, Bridget, and hear about her experiences with cliques.
A clique is especially a group of people where other people are excluded or people are included for specific reasons. My school is a very small school, and yet there always seems to be a group of people assembling, and so cliques tend to form almost by themselves in any circumstance. When I was very young, I was picked on. I was picked on from pre-K through 5th grade. The reason I was picked on was because I wasn't included in cliques, and I had no reason to be in a clique. I didn't want to. I wanted to do my own thing, and I was individualistic, and I've always been a self-starter. But as I grew older, I realized that I didn't need to be included in them, and I felt better about myself.
God made each of us different and special.
He loves each of us unconditionally in our uniqueness. He does not prefer one person over another.
If we could catch a glimpse of the world through God's eyes, we would appreciate the beauty and importance of each individual.
Cliques pressure teens to be just like everyone else and discourage them from expressing individuality or independent thinking.
Jesus showed us how to find and cherish what is unique about each person.
And he is a great example of accepting your own special qualities and resisting the pressure to conform to the crowd.
Jesus also understands what it is like to be rejected, as he was rejected at the synagogue in his own hometown and by the crowd in Jerusalem who demanded his execution.
Let's go back to the teens in the street and see if they have ever been rejected by a clique.
Let's check it out.
Have you ever personally been excluded from a clique or a group?
No.
Never?
Nope.
Never.
Have you ever been excluded from a clique or a group?
The jocks.
If I didn't want to be in one, I wasn't, and if I did, you know, I guess I could if I wanted to. But then I'd have to be like them, and you know, I want to be me.
I'm sure I have. I can't think of any now.
Yeah, I guess probably. Can't think of any off the top of my head, but definitely probably.
Yes, because I used to be like popular, and then I got into a fight with some of the girls, but then I got back in because we made up.
Well, I tried to join the international club at my school, and I wasn't international. They didn't really like that.
When I was younger, in like, I guess 6th grade, like I was just a complete loser. No one really liked me, so, you know, I'm used to it.
How do you think you got over that, though?
You just have to realize that you have to accept yourself for who you are, and you don't really have to worry about what other people think of you.
So, have any of you guys ever been rejected by a clique?
Every day since kindergarten. But it's amazing. I completely respect myself and, like, you know, see myself as a perfect individual, you know. Like, the girl said she was a loser. You're not a loser. You're just a non-winner.
It happened to me a lot in grade school that there was basically, I mean, I was in a very small school, and there was basically like the cool group and then like the 5 people that weren't in the cool group. And I was one of those people, and I struggled with that all through grade school, and it was really hard because like I was fine with myself and I didn't really like what they were doing anyway, but it was hard not to have any friends, you know? Like I sort of struggled with that.
Yeah, I go to a very small school now, and there's 22 of us in my grade, and we're all girls. And still, even with that few amount of people, there's still people who like want to separate and, you know, have their own clique, and I just don't understand why it has to be that way, like why everyone can't just get along. And it's strange to me that people will just like separate themselves and be like, oh, you know, I don't want to be friends with you, when really, you know, we're all like the same kind of people and we all have the same kind of interests. So, you know, why do you have to dislike other people just because they're different? So it just doesn't really make sense to have cliques. And a lot of times it's just because there's miscommunication between people, and people just don't listen to each other, and they have their own set ideas in their head, and they won't open their mind and kind of change their ideas.
I think, as we spoke about before, it's natural for people to want to be in their comfort level with people that are like themselves, and that's good when you're, you know, just making friends. But when, you know, somebody comes up to your group and you just feel uneasy about letting them in because you think it might like set off the balance that you have. But I mean, I know cliques in my school where like girls just dress like each other and talk like each other, do everything like each other, and it comes to the point that they don't even think for themselves. They just do whatever it is that, you know, the leader of their clique does, and, you know, it kind of separates them from other people and from the school. And, you know, if you're just following someone your whole life, then you don't have any confidence, and then it comes to the point that you're rejecting and making fun of other cliques and other people. And I think that's where it gets dangerous, when you start, you know, just separating people and saying, well, I'm better than this person because I'm in this group. It's only high school, it's only middle school, and once you get into the real world, then you're not going to have your clique, you're just going to have other people, and you need to know how to get along with them and how to accept other people that are different from yourself.
You know, cliques are only temporary. Most of the time, most of the people that you hang out with during high school, you're not going to see like ever again the rest of your life. You know, especially if you're going away, far away to college, like a lot of my friends are. And you know what? During the real world, when you get a job and everything, you have to be nice to everyone. You have to be nice to business contacts. You have to be nice to employees. And you have to be nice to like fellow coworkers and everything. And it's good practice not to be in a clique. Like, oh, you know, just be accepting of everyone for like the real world, like life after school.
Yeah, why be inside like everyone else, whereas you could be outside and having a party all your own, you know?
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
What are some ways faith can help you deal with cliques?
What do you think Jesus would say about cliques?
That is what we asked our teens on the street.
Let's check it out.
What does your faith teach you about cliques?
That I don't know. Well, tells you probably they're wrong and you shouldn't judge, and you should welcome everyone.
That they're not right because everyone deserves to be treated equal and have equal opportunity for everything.
Don't let people make fun of you get to you.
They're not right because a lot of people get hurt.
Just be who you are.
It's not so much my faith that teaches me as, you know, just a sense of morality and people's feelings. So.
And I don't remember talking about that in Christianity school or what have you. It's just, I don't know.
Hang out with the correct people. Don't hang out with the wrong crowd.
You're supposed to love everyone in my religion. So about cliques, I guess it would be you shouldn't really have them. You should just, the whole world should be your clique. Everyone should be accepted.
What do you think Jesus would say about cliques?
I don't think he would like them very much. He wouldn't mind clubs, you know, but cliques is something a little different.
I think he would just say let everybody like everybody for themselves and don't outcast anybody, I guess.
I don't think he would agree with it. He's a nice guy.
Don't forget, he had his people. I mean, the disciples and everything. I mean, he had his own clique, I guess. Not that he would exclude anyone, but...
I don't think, well, we're talking about a guy who hung out with prostitutes and lowlifes, so I don't think he liked them at all, because he tried to hang out with whoever he could, and sometimes he was ridiculed for that.
I think he'd be like, just get rid of those cliques. We all should click as one.
I agree with the last guy. I think we should all click as one.
But I disagree with the guy that said that Jesus had his own clique. Jesus and his friends included everyone, even the people that were deemed unacceptable to the rest of society.
And the gospel teaches Christians to consider all people our neighbors and commands us to love our neighbors as ourselves.
Let's go back to our interview with Bridget and find out what advice she has on getting rid of cliques and what her faith teaches her about cliques.
Encourage social activity between peers who wouldn't necessarily interact with each other, especially in the school, because the school setting takes up so much of a teen's life. Encourage them to work with children in groups on projects. Encourage them to join clubs that they wouldn't think about being in because maybe they think they would be unpopular if they didn't join the club. Christ included anyone and helped anyone and reached out his hands to anyone who was open to them. And not being open to other people goes against the things that Christ taught. Being a member of a clique necessarily means that you will not be open to certain types of people for whatever reason, be it race or creed or what they enjoy to do or the people that they choose to be friends with. And Christ never closed his arms to anyone.
What does your faith teach you about cliques and helping to deal with it?
Well, I agree with most of the kids on the street, how they said, you know, Jesus wouldn't agree with cliques. I'd agree with that because, I mean, the one kid talked, you know, he walked around with prostitutes and scum of the world. I don't really know if, you know, scum of the world is right, but he definitely did accept everyone, you know. Even he does that today. He accepts everyone that wants to be accepted by Jesus, and I think that's what we have to try to do and try to accept everyone for who they are and not try to change them.
Mm-hmm. If you think about it, God created everyone and he created them in his own image. So why would, when you're rejecting, you know, like a person, you're actually rejecting God's creation. And, you know, whatever you do to least my people that you do to me, you're rejecting God, you know, indirectly, but you're still, it's not that decent of you.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, even the lowest member of society has God in him and Jesus in him, and he's made in his image and likeness. And every time you tell that kid he can't sit at your lunch table, or you make fun of him when he walks by, or you don't even say hi to him when he walks by or she walks by, you have to remember that you're insulting God, Jesus and that person, and you know, it's just a terrible sin. And it's an easy sin to commit because you don't even realize that you're doing it. You're going like pack mentality. You're in a group. And it's important to overcome this, and you know, if you do overcome it, it's a big step forward to living a good Christian life. It's something easy that you could fix.
It's not even about, you know, like being mean to a person. It's just, you know, like ignoring them. You know, you can be alone in the crowd. You can be the person sitting right in the middle of the lunchroom with everybody else, but no one's talking to you. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like you're alone there. No one, like, you're your own little island, and people aren't supposed to be islands. So, you know, like, it's not just you being mean to a person, it's you actually reaching your hand out and talking to that person, being friends with that person, going out of your way, even though your clique may not approve of it. It's you reaching your hand out to those that society kind of rejects, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to take that step, though, whether you're the person by yourself that's not part of a clique or the person in a clique that's keeping other people out. It's hard for you sometimes to stand up to other people and to stand up to the social boundaries that we kind of set in high school, you know, that we set by our clothes and by the people we hang out with, the cars we drive, or the things we do. You know, it's just really hard, and I think that something that we can do to give ourselves the strength to kind of stand up to the little boundaries that we have is to just pray to God, because God obviously loves us and wants us to love each other. So whenever we pray to Him for strength in reaching out to other people and understanding other people and having other people understand us, God will be there for us, and He'll be there when we're alone. He'll be there when we're with other people and trying to accept other people too. So I think it's just really important to pray to God whenever we need help trying to do that.
Yeah, I think that even if you don't necessarily really get along that well with someone, they're not like one of your really good friends, you can still be civil to them. It's not like you have to be mean to someone or ignore them just because you're not best friends. You can say hi to them in the hallway, smile at them, you know, just make conversation if you're in the same room. It doesn't take that much effort to just be nice to people.
And a lot of times it makes someone's day. You know, like they could be having a really bad day, and just by saying hi to them or, you know, trying to include them in the conversation at the lunch table or something can really make a difference.
Walk down the hallway and you smile at people and you see who smiles back. And the person with the biggest frown on their face, if you smile at them, gives you the biggest smile back. It's the most amazing thing ever. It makes your day just to know that you made someone so happy. And, you know, it makes their day. You know, they have a smile on their face now. So it's pretty fun.
You know, if you're just nice to everyone, then you're not going to have a hard time making friends or keeping friends. And you know, that's kind of the policy that I tried in school. Like, I was just nice to every person that I met. You know, sure, I got in arguments with plenty of people, and you know, who doesn't? But I got past those arguments. I forgave, and I forgot, and I just was nice to every single person I met. And then I had very few problems, and you know, I was kind of friends with everyone. And I was in one big clique, so it was not really a clique, just a group, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you just got to be real and be yourself, and then somebody will accept you. And God always accepts you, so you always know that He's there for you. But if you're part of a really selective clique or something like that, you might think you're cool for the minute, but as fast as they reject other people, they can reject you. So if you are open to everyone, then it'll never come back to kind of bite you in the butt. Like, you'll always have friends. And you always see those movies where the bad guy, you know, they make fun of the person that's like a geek or something like that. They make fun of them, they pull tricks on them, but in the end of the movie, do you ever see them, you know, coming out the victor? They usually get what they deserve. And I think that we just need to have faith that if we're good people, we treat people well, even if we might like being part of the cool group or, you know, trying to be part of the cool group. If you're doing things that go against your faith or go against just basic respect for other people, then you know that you're not cool and you're not really in with, you know, God and with the love that He wants you to share with other people.
So guys, do you have any advice to other teens who might be suffering from abuse, from being left out of cliques and stuff?
Well, I think it's important to remember that when we said that Jesus always accepted everyone, that He accepts us also. And that if you're left out, you can be left out by everyone, you know, that you know, but Jesus will always accept you, and He is always there for you. And there's great comfort in that. And a lot of times when you look at the behavior of the clique, would you really want to be a part of that? Probably not. So it might be a blessing in disguise that you're not part of that clique and you're not pressured into doing the kinds of things they do and in following their behavior, you know.
Yeah, don't conform, but definitely cooperate, you know, be your own person and, you know, be an individual and be the wonderful human being that you are, but, you know, you definitely want to cooperate with other people while you're doing it.
There's a saying, conformity kills creativity, and it's very true. You know, if you're going to conform and be like everyone else, then you're going to lose a lot of your individual traits that make you who you are. And, you know, it's very important to be a good person, not really just a good person, just a healthy, expressive person that knows who they are. And, you know, everyone needs to know who they are to live a good life.
And it's important to remember that Jesus, again, was rejected, like you guys said, in the temple, and then when He came back into His hometown, so that He can totally relate to what we're going through, you know.
Like the ancient Greeks used to say, know thyself, all right? And if you know yourself, then you can understand a lot of things. And if you're in a clique and you're just doing whatever everyone else is doing, then you won't really know yourself. You won't understand who you are and what you like and what you don't like. Then you'll have a hard time adjusting to real life in the real world.
Yeah, the greatest people in the world were once rejected by, you know, their society. So just because, you know, you might be rejected by some meaningless clique, it doesn't mean you're less of a person. In fact, it might mean that you're more greater of a person. Your mind is just too complicated to comprehend.
And just like Bridget said, she said she was very individualistic, but it didn't bother her because that's the way she wanted to be. I mean, if you're rejected from a group, it might not be so bad because you could be individualistic and go your own way and flourish from that.
Exactly. This is a time to grow and change, so concentrate on yourself, not on the other groups and how you fit into them. Just be yourself and you'll be accepted by the other people that want to grow and change as well.
And if you didn't know what a clique was, like me, you know, now you know. And these guys told me, so you don't see them laughing at me right now, because, you know, that's just who I am. Like, I don't know anything.
For moments like that, I keep you around, pal. Thank you for lightening up my day. Thank you.
The church teaches that discrimination against and exclusion of others based on their race, culture, gender, age, or economic status is sinful.
In their 1981 document, Cultural Pluralism in the United States, the bishops remind us that everyone is a member of the human family.
Christians have an obligation to accept and include everyone. We are all members of the family of God.
Do you have any stories you would like to share of how your faith helped you deal with cliques in your school?
Write to us on our website.
The address is www.realfaithtv.com.
Or call us at 609-406-7402.
And remember, as Christians, we follow the model of Jesus.
This means to be ourselves and not to purposefully exclude those who look or act differently.
This path is not always easy, especially when your peers may try to persuade you to reject others or to be more like the in crowd.
But Jesus promises to be there with us every step of the way.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time
on Real Faith TV. God bless.